Legendary developer Hideo Kojima will be bringing us the full Metal Gear Solid 5 The Phantom Pain sometime in the future. But for now we have this smaller standalone prologue called Ground Zeroes.
70s mullet Snake is back, and he's got a new voice.
I got Chico.
Yes, in an announcement last year that shocked the Metal Gear fanbase and the voice actor himself apparently, David Hayter is out and Kiefer Sutherland is in. Kiefer Snake only has a handful of lines in this prologue, so it's hard to tell what he's going to bring to the character just yet, but you know, he's suitably snaky.
Yeah, I'm sure Kiefer will do a great job. And you know, I'm not personally a huge fan of the Metal Gear Solid storytelling, but still there was something brilliant about David Hayter's performance in those previous games, especially in Metal Gear Solid 4.
Liquid is after Big Boss's body. Is it here?
He just gelled so well with this strange, surreal, almost performance art world that this franchise sits in.
War transforms us.
But while those long, overwritten cutscenes of previous games had their charm, those days are gone, and maybe it is for the best. Zeroes, and apparently the full game as well, will have less cutscenes in general. What I personally love about the Metal Gear franchise is the presentation and those thoughtful cinematics. There's always a distinct style to it. Each shot and frame has been crafted a certain way on purpose.
Go away! Get off, man! Let me out of here, please! Get off me!
And even though there are only a few cutscenes in Zeroes, that wonderful style is still on show.
Pirate crackdowns are go! Move!
All in all, there isn't actually much story being told in Ground Zeroes. In fact, depending on your perspective, there isn't that much game either.
Yes, I'm really struggling to see what Zeroes actually is. It's in shops as a full retail release, but I struggle to see this as anything more than a glorified extended tech demo for their new Fox engine. It's all set in just one map, a prison camp. You load up the game, play through the story mission, which I clocked at about 1.5 hours, and then the credits roll.
Do you too believe your sacrifice will change the world?
It is a fun mission. You rescue a couple of targets and frantically get them to safety, which is thrilling, and you learn a little bit more about the story. After that, you can go back in for side missions with various objectives, such as destroying AA turrets,
Destruction confirmed.
an on-rails helicopter mission, and a sneaking mission where you need to eliminate 2 targets by identifying their faces. But really, that's it.
Yeah, those side missions felt more like optional objectives rather than full-on missions in their own right. But you are still in that one map, either at night or during the day, going past the same locations. I feel like they've tried to make Zeroes replayable, you know, as a feature by having a harder difficulty and those side ops, but really there should just be more content, you know, actual missions that justify releasing this separately to the Phantom Pain.
Yeah, I agree. And after about the 4th or 5th time going back into this base for another mission, I actually started feeling sorry for the employees of the prison. Snake just keeps going back in again and again, killing everyone over and over. They must get so sick of him messing with their stuff. Just quit.
There are some solid mechanics though. I liked how if you're spotted, time slows down. This allows you to try and get a quick shot on an enemy before he sounds the alarm, although some of the controls are a little fiddly, such as rolling or changing weapons.
I didn't find the swapping weapons that bad, but I did accidentally put on my night vision in the middle of a fight more than once.
Targets are getting away.
I do like that you're encouraged to interrogate guards,
Speak.
and listen in on conversations,
Those new guys, you see their choppers?
Perfect.
and mark targets to keep them on your radar. All that stuff works really well, and the Metal Gear series has always been good at offering engaging stealth gameplay.
If you do get busted, you can certainly run and gun effectively in Zeroes. I mean, the gunplay itself is really tight.
Yeah, this is the first Metal Gear that has really made its shooting mechanics feel intuitive. It's interesting they're letting gamers stretch out from purely stealthing all the time.
I think it's also the switch to a more open world feel. You have so many more options as to how you want to progress now. Gone are the days of lying under a truck for ages, waiting for an alert to die down. Zeroes really encourages you to try all sorts of different solutions.
Yeah, I think that's the right move. I did expect more from the AI though. What are you guys doing? I'm not in the wall.
Where?
Enemies do have a hive mind, which makes sense because they're all on radios, and I like the way they all just keep coming in the different levels of threat, but I didn't really feel like they were super intelligent and trying to outsmart me.
Xbone and PS4 versions of Zeroes each have their own exclusive missions on the same map. Xbone lets you play as Raiden from Revengeance, who's after cyborgs. The PS4 mission Deja Vu asks you to recreate scenes from the original Metal Gear Solid.
A box and lights.
I mean, really? How is that fun for anyone?
Yeah, that's where I checked out. How infuriating. Wandering around this map again trying to recreate images from the first game will only appeal to the most die-hard of fans who are also really bored. And that's it, Ground Zero's done and dusted. And all of this costs $50. And I can't imagine anyone, even the most hardcore of fans, spending that much for this game and feeling completely satisfied at the end of it.
Yeah, I agree. It's horribly overpriced for what it is. I mean, if we were to look at the DLC, for example, that we reviewed a few weeks ago from games like The Last of Us and Assassin's Creed, they were only a few hours of gameplay as well, but there was just so much value in them because it took us on a fleshed out journey with these characters, as well as having some frantic action set pieces. Zeroes feels like one mission surgically removed from a bigger game. It's a tough one to score, isn't it? I mean, my gut reaction is a 5 or a 6. The small amount of gameplay you get here is good, but I can't help but think about all the other games you could play for the same price.
Yeah, that's really my main problem with it, is just that price tag. I think you could jump into this game again and again and sneak perfect runs, hurling bodies around. But I'm not really into that sort of completionism, at least not with the Metal Gear series, so I found it really hard to see the value in this game, and I think even at half the price for me personally, it would be a hard sell. So I'm giving it 5 out of 10 rubber chickens.
I'm giving it 5.5. Now across to the news desk with Goose.